Joining us in the Answer Studio, Peter Steffen from the Tax Resolution Institute. Great to have you, Peter.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks. Great to be here.
First and foremost, how did you get into the business of resolving tax issues for taxpayers?
That's an interesting question. Early on in my career, I was hired by a company who was in the high-tech industry, and they were making a fortune. Well, they were making so much money that they asked me to move my CPA practice into their facility and take care of their inside as well as my practice. They paid me a lot of money to do it, and I thought it was just the best deal since sliced bread. Well, what happened was, as it does in the tech industry, the margins started deteriorating. The competitors started infringing on the patents, and the payroll tax checks that I was signing were going into the drawer. Little did I know that I was personally liable for those payroll taxes as well as the owners.
Right.
So fortunately, all's well that ends well. We ended up paying it off at $20,000 a month.
Oh, wow.
This is back in the 80s, and I got out from under that possibility. But at that time, I didn't even know what I didn't know, and that was the problem. So that led me to the tax resolution business and the ins and outs of both income and payroll taxes.
Payroll taxes, that's a huge issue. We'll get to that in a moment. People who have come to the taxresolutioninstitute.com, they're coming to the website maybe because in all likelihood they have been contacted, whether it's by the Franchise Tax Board in California, they've been contacted by the IRS. One of the real emotions that people, that I think that I know, one of the real emotions that strike people first when they want to resolve a tax issue is there's fear. There is a lot of fear for the taxpayer who is contacted, they owe back taxes, they haven't filed a return. I think that, and you're the expert, Peter, the greatest enemy of that fear is inaction. People get contacted, they don't take action. They're almost paralyzed by the fear of not knowing what to do when they have an unresolved tax issue.
That's true, Brian. And the worst thing you could possibly do in a situation where you have unfiled returns or you owe past taxes is ignore the notices from the IRS or think that it's going to go away because they haven't contacted you or because you've moved. That happens quite frequently because the IRS is not going anywhere. And they're not going to.
It turns out.
That's correct.
They're here to stay. Okay.
They're not going to lose your bill.
Right.
In all the years I've been doing this, they've never lost the bill of a taxpayer. Right. They, at times, have delayed in calling, have delayed in sending notices, have sent notices to the wrong place. Those issues are all problematic. But the fact of the matter is that if you ignore them, they're not going away.
And I think that when, and the wake-up call to a lot of taxpayers is that garnishment notice. When you get the notice at 25%, it can be up to 25% of your paycheck is going away. It can be that high, that number, right?
It could actually be more than that, and you have to add the state issues to that as well.
Who's friendlier to deal with, the IRS or the California Franchise Tax Board, or is neither friendlier to deal with?
Well, I hate to put it this way, but the IRS is a walk in the park compared to the Franchise Tax Board,
really?
The State Board of Equalization, or the Employment Development Department in California, and the related state agencies in the other states that we work in, and we do work in them all.
And the services that the Tax Resolution Institute, and that's the website you want to go to, taxresolutioninstitute.com.
You can also get there, if you can't remember that or it's too long or you can't type, by typing in UncleSam1040.com.
Oh, that's great. UncleSam1040.com.